What's going on, guys? It's the Bad Wolf. Once again, going to bring you guys some fire information about right to travel and insurance. This has come up many different times, and I'm pretty sure I made a video on it, but let's make a new video. We've got some new things to add, especially now with the invent of ChatGPT. Can do some searching, and I can bounce some things off of it. Remember, Chat does make some mistakes, so do not take everything it says for professional legal advice. We're not giving legal advice or any type of medical, none of that. This is just my personal experiences. Oh, there goes a little police chase just happened in front of my house. That's wild. All right. It'd be wild on the north side. All right. So, once again, we are going to be talking about insurance and all of the ways and methods that I have known about, used, other people have used. We're going to bring them here so you guys can stop emailing me on that. And for the love of God, as always, guys, go to youtube.com/@ symbol the Bad Wolf or Bad Wolf Unincorporated. Drop down to the playlists, then go all the way to the far right. If you don't see a playlist, then use the playlist search box. It'll search all of my videos on a topic. When you put in the topic and hit go, it'll populate all of the videos that I have tagged with that information. All right. Not saying I don't appreciate the consultations. I mean, I'd like to make money too. And I will definitely talk about anything you want to, but a lot of it, you guys can just find in the videos. So before we get started, I just want to jump over and show you guys. Let's see here. My other website. Don't forget, guys, or maybe you guys didn't know, some of you guys might not have known, that my new YouTube site is Bad Wolf Unrestricted. Okay. So join me over there as I talk about all different types of subjects. We're going to do some entertainment, but unrestricted. I'm going to show you guys what I think about these things. You may like, you may not like my thoughts or opinions and views on certain things. That's okay. That's okay, mine, because, well, nobody I have met yet has had everybody like them. And I am definitely not going to be the first for a lot of reasons. So if people don't like the president, Jesus, God, some people don't even like themselves. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to educate you. So this is the class. Either you want to be in or not. That's up to you. But comment sections will be more freely open over there. And we will be addressing all the different things from the news to sports to government, God, aliens, my ex, you know, some good, some bad, and some evil, normal things, things of that nature. All right, so let's take a look. I just want to run you guys by the jameslovett.com website and show you that we've got some new files, and I continue to put them up. They are paid streaming. You can either go directly there by typing in jameslovett.com or www.jameslovett.com, or you can get there through Black Site 32 and go on the seminars page, and it'll take you right there. All right, so without further ado, let's jump over there for a quick minute. All right, so this is the site. You can type in James C. Lovett and altogether one word.com, and you will be brought here. These are private course videos. So here we've got one on how to reprogram your chat GPT to operate the way mine does, help you out. It'll dig a little bit deeper and better. And all you have to do is you can watch the video. There's also a file that you can get. Yep, two right here, two files. So once you pay, You get the video and the file, and you can download the file and then copy paste that right into your chat or Grok or whatever else, and it will act right, or at least a lot better. All right, so theory of cashing out bonds and with the CUSIP numbers, information here, educational purposes only, okay, and how to deal with tax and a lot of other little goodies that you should know. A lot of people aren't telling you the whole story. How to deal with an IRS notice to levy. This is a free video here by a guy named Ian Clifford, who calls himself the most censored man in the UK. We do not condone using or not using his services. This is just information. So do your own research. We have found obviously positive things, but then, like he did mention, there's going to be some negative things. Obviously, this is not me, or this is me. This is not him. So I'm not Ian Clifford. Okay, there's a real guy. Just didn't know if you wanted me to use his picture or not. And then buying all of the Wolfpack court case videos. This is a discounted figure. Okay, if you add them all up, it's like 35 or 3,700. But it does not include all of the videos, just the court cases and all the ones listed when you open the pack. So there are some extra ones in there with the court cases, but you don't get all of them, but a majority. How to invoke the courts to move better the way you want them to do. Things on health. This is the first court case, 1 through 1.0 through 3.5. Okay. Then this is the 2 or 1.0 to 1.5 are included in the 2.0. And this is the base 1.0 and 1.5, which includes the presumptions and how to win. So it's the base one. So this one has all of them. And then if you want the whole course and extra, then it would be this one with some of the other videos down here mentioned. So read the fine print, you'll be fine. Business secrets and tips, crypto, stablecoin, what to do with all that kind of stuff, protect yourself, how to analyze your own court case and break down the information, information on firearms, how to make them private, IRS codes to reduce, eliminate, or minimize your debts, basic information I have on name changing and bonds and passports and whatever else, secrets of credit repair and business, foreclosure tactics and techniques, all education, naturalization for new, young, old, mortgage secrets, promissory note, fraud, basic trusts is a very popular one, information on revocable, irrevocable, business, religious, right to travel, how to fight your own case, and how to create your own private micronation, government, unincorporated entity. And last but not least, property. Well, wait, hold on, let me see here. Property tax step-by-step guide, how to make your property exempt. And there should be one more. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I skimmed over it. How to remove your property tax. So this one's asking for an exemption from them. This is how to get it out of their hands. So both are good. Just depends on what you want to do. All right. So now, without further ado, because guys, I always have to get out all these things in the beginning because a lot of people skip through all the beginning parts anyway. Gotta market a little bit. You ain't getting a whole lot of free donations, so gotta market your stuff. Market your stuff, Sheen. All right, let's get into it. Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna take a look at insurance. All right. Looks good. We're rocking. All right. Make sure the voice is on so you guys can hear me and hear the AI, because I'm going to let the AI do some reading. Okay. Short summary, but the bottom line. Let's start here.
Short summary, bottom line.
Already said that.
You can protect a vehicle financially without holding a standard driver's license, but how you do it depends on 1. Whether you own the vehicle, 2. Whether someone else will drive it, 3. state rules about policy/registration name matching, and 4. Whether you need title/registration remedies, bonded title. The strongest practical options are A. Buy a policy that names a licensed primary driver or get a non-owner policy. B. Have the vehicle insured under another person's policy, with you as owner, esse. Buy comprehensive-only/storage coverage if vehicle is parked. Or D. Use a DMV title/registration surety bond, bonded title, if the problem is missing/defective title. Full list of options, with pros/cons and legal/practical notes. 1. Put the car on a policy whose primary driver is a licensed person, you are owner but excluded driver. What? Insurer lists a licensed person as the primary named driver, their driving record sets the rate. You, owner, can be listed as an excluded or non-driving insured. Many insurers will do this when the owner doesn't drive. Progressive. Pros, meets insurer/DVM needs to check driving record, allows vehicle to be insured and registered. Cons, if you actually drive the car and are excluded, claims will be denied. Some states or companies require the policyholder to have a license on file. 2. Non-owner auto insurance, if you don't own the car but drive others' cars. What? Liability coverage that follows the driver, not the car. It protects you if you're at fault while driving a car you don't own. It does not cover damage to the vehicle you're driving, collision/comprehensive, only liability. Useful if you frequently borrow/rent cars or need in State Route 22 but don't own a car. Progressive +1. Pros, available without vehicle ownership or a license in many cases, often cheaper than full policy. Cons, does not protect the car's physical damage, some states/insurers still check license status. 3. Buy a policy in someone else's name, they insure the vehicle, you are owner. What? Owner registers the vehicle but the insurer issues the policy to another person who will be the primary insured/driver. This is often used when an owner won't drive but wants the car insured. Progressive. Pros, straightforward if you have a trusted licensed driver. Cons, insurer and DMV rules vary. Some states require the policyholder and registrant to match. 4. Comprehensive only/parked vehicle coverage, if the vehicle is not driven. What? Insures the car against theft, vandalism, fire, weather while parked, no liability for driving. Useful if you have no license and won't drive. Pros, cheaper than full coverage, protects asset while not used. Cons, does not allow legal operation on public roads. 5. Use a non-standard/specialty insurer or independent agent. What? Some insurers specialize in unusual risk profiles, no license, suspended, foreign nationals. Independent agents can place you with companies that will underwrite the situation. Reddit +1. Pros, more flexible acceptance. Cons, may be more expensive, shop around. 6. State Route 22/FR 44 filing, if required by court/state even without a license. What? If a state requires proof of financial responsibility, e.g., after DUI, and State Route 22 or similar may be needed even where you aren't licensed. Non-owner or a policy listing a licensed driver can sometimes satisfy this. Check state rules. NerdWallet. 7. Title/registration surety bond, bonded title, when the paperwork/title is the problem. What? If the DMV won't issue/transfer a title because of missing/defective title paperwork, many states accept a title bond, a surety bond, guaranteeing the vehicle's value and protecting any true owner. After a bond period, commonly 3 years, you can get a regular title absent claims. This is a DMV remedy, not an insurance substitute for driving liability. Pros, allows registration and ownership when title is missing or defective. Cons, bond costs and state procedures vary, does not replace liability insurance. 8. Register the vehicle to a business entity, LLC, and insure it commercially. What? If the vehicle is owned by an entity, LLC, You can buy commercial auto or garage/asset insurance in the entity's name. Licensed drivers would be named. Pros: asset separation, sometimes more flexible underwriting. Cons: more paperwork and expense. Insurers will still require licensed drivers listed. 9. Garage keepers or storage liability, if you keep the car at a facility. What if car is stored with a commercial facility? Facility insurance could cover some risks, the facility's policy, but this typically protects the facility's liability rather than you as owner. Not a replacement for owner's insurance. Key legal/practical constraints you must check: state-by-state differences. State DMV insurance/registration rules vary. Some states require that the policy name match the registration name. Other states accept an insurer's named driver instead. Always check your state DMV. Investopedia. Insurers need a driving history to price the risk. If you have no license, many companies will request the licensed driver's info to set premium or may decline. Progressive. Bonded title rules are state-specific. Amounts, time periods, and forms differ by state. DMV will explain the surety bond requirement. +1. Actionable checklist, step by step. Decide desired end state. You want the car registered and able to be driven by a licensed person. Options 1, 2, or 3. The car will be parked/stored and only protected against theft/damage. Option 4. You lack title paperwork and need title/registration. Option 7, bonded title. Call an independent insurance agent, not just a single carrier, and explain. You own the vehicle but do not have a standard driver's license. Whether you will ever drive it. Whether someone licensed will drive it regularly. Ask them to quote: A. Insured with licensed primary driver. B. Non-owner policy. C. Comprehensive only. D. Non-standard markets. Independent agents have access to multiple markets. Reddit. If title/registration is the issue, contact your state DMV about a bonded title or registration bond. They will give the exact bond amount and forms. Get quotes from surety bond providers. +1. If you'll name a licensed driver as primary, get that driver's consent and record, their license number. For the insurer, they will run their driving history. If you get a policy that excludes you as a driver, get that exclusion in writing and keep copies with the vehicle. Short sample email/phone script to an agent or insurer. Use/adapt when contacting an independent agent. Hello, I own a year/model that I plan not to drive personally because I do not hold a standard driver's license. I need the vehicle insured and registered. Please quote. A policy listing, full name of licensed driver, as the primary driver while I remain listed as owner and excluded driver, including liability plus comprehensive/collision. A comprehensive-only policy, vehicle parked/no operation. Non-owner liability options if I will borrow vehicles occasionally. Please confirm whether your company requires the policyholder name to match vehicle registration in my state. Thank you. When to use a bonded title versus insurance. If your problem is title/registration paperwork, no title, missing signatures, use a title/registration surety bond to get a bonded title from the DMV. That bond protects third parties and is a DMV remedy, not a substitute for auto liability insurance. Suretybonds.com +1. If your problem is you don't have a license but someone will drive, use insurance options described above: non-owner, named driver, comprehensive only. Progressive +1. Quick list of useful references, I looked these up for you. Insuring without a license, Progressive/major carrier guidance. Progressive. Non-owner policies explained, Allstate/Experian/NerdWallet summaries. Title/bonded title/DMV surety bond guidance, surety bond suppliers and state DMV examples. Suretybonds.com +1. If you want me to do one of these for you now, I can draft a short, state-specific DMV Which would you like me to draft? Sources. Thought for 47s. Got it. Here's a vetted, national scope shortlist of carriers, and a few large brokers, that actively write or place non-standard/high-risk auto, including cases with no U.S. license, suspended/reinstatement, SR22/FR44, or foreign/international licenses. I'm noting what each is good for and linking to a current, authoritative page for proof.
So I said, I want you to find national insurers that specialize in unusual risk profiles, no license, suspended, foreign nationals, primarily no license and or privately held. Okay?
Proof. Non-standard specialists, high tolerance for unusual profiles. Dairyland, Sentry, files State Route 22, offers non-owner policies, long-time non-standard market. +1. The General, high-risk approvals plus non-owner State Route 22, fast filings. The General. Bristol West, Farmers Specialty, non-standard book, supports SR22/FR44. BristolWest.com +1. GAINSCO, a State Farm company, non-standard, accepts foreign/international IDs per producer materials, State Route 22 available. Safe Auto, an Allstate company, minimum limits, high-risk focus, often used for State Route 22. Safe Auto. National General, Allstate, broad high-risk appetite, non-owner State Route 22 in many markets, often placed via agents. LearnAndServe.org. Direct Auto, State Route 22 filings, non-owner education/resources for suspended/no car. Acceptance Insurance, carrier/agency hybrid, markets to high risk, State Route 22 help. Big nationals that explicitly accommodate edge cases. Progressive, will quote when you don't have a license by rating a licensed primary driver, also insures international/foreign licenses. Good for non-owner plus State Route 22 in many states. Progressive +1. State Farm, guidance for foreign drivers, strong non-owner option via agents. State Farm +1. Nationwide, State Route 22 explainer and filings via policies, owner or non-owner depending on state. Nationwide. Allstate, non-owner State Route 22 possible, also owns National General and Safe Auto, additional placement paths. Allstate. Large brokers/marketplaces, not carriers, that place high risk, useful if a direct carrier says no. Freeway Insurance, places non-owner State Route 22 and general high risk across many states. MoneyGeek/Insurify, research and quote platforms, current comparisons for non-owner/SR22 pricing and company availability by state. Notes that matter for no license and held privately. No license. Foreign. Quick how-to, what to ask for. When you call or email any of the above, use language like, I'm the titled owner but don't hold a standard driver's license and will not drive. Please quote, 1. A policy with name, DL hashtag, as the primary driver and me listed as an excluded driver/owner, and 2. A non-owner policy if applicable for SR22/financial responsibility needs.
A lot of people go with the non-owner driver's license because depending on which one you find, they cover you in whatever vehicle you have access to. All right. So you're covered, but check and see what their specifics are that come with that non-owner policy. They're not all the same.
Needs. If you want, sources. So can you find me bonding companies for car/title or bondsmen who cover national? Absolutely. Here are reputable, national providers, and a few large brokers that issue vehicle certificate of title bonds, bonded titles, nationwide and specifically in Arkansas. I've also added the key Arkansas rules, bond amount, term, DMV paperwork, so you can act immediately. Fast national issuers, serve Arkansas. Surety.
So this was just done primarily for Arkansas, but suretybonds.com, surety bonds direct, surety one, NFP surety, A1 surety bonds, zip bonds, titlebonds.us, JW surety bonds, single surety bonds, all state surety bonds. Primarily these are in Arkansas, but obviously you get the point. If you can find somebody to issue you a bond. Okay. Um, Kind of talked about the international driving permit, passport. Then it's talking a little bit about international driving permit, what's real, what's fake. Generally, what they do with any of these from the AA, AAA, or AATA, but the international driver's license is, as long as it doesn't look like somebody else's license, it's legit but private, may not be accepted everywhere. But for me, if that's the case, then I might as well create my own from my own entity. USA.gov also clarifies what an IDP, International Driver's Permit, is. So they're basically saying we accept the International Driver Permit, but we don't recognize International Driver's License. International License is private. International Driver's Permit usually has either your driver's license number on it anyway, or your citizen number, which happens to be the same as your driver's license number, to that state on the top. As somebody who gave up their driver's license and only reluctantly recently had to get a ID, state ID, the number on the top is the same, even after like 10 years. They found the old account and they're like, oh yeah, here you go. So I do not use it. Except for specific uses and needs.
C. Crossing borders, international insurers and special cases. General rule: most U.S. auto policies cover you in the U.S. and Canada only. For other countries, you'll need separate admitted, local, coverage or a specialized international policy. Progressive. Good international providers/resources. Clements Worldwide, expat/global auto, writes in many countries, including worldwide physical damage cover.
So what do we do here, guys? We went international. I asked it what international insurers or special cases are out there that would cover the vehicle or insure all the stuff. See, you guys have to stop looking and thinking of, well, I only know about local stuff. There's people here who cover you worldwide. There's people worldwide that will cover you here. Also remember or know that to understand, if you're operating in the U.S. corporation, they consider that domestic. But if you're operating in the United States of America and you're on that side of the line, that's domestic. Each other one could be international or foreign to the other one. So could you use an international one? Yeah. They may ask you, are you going to leave the country with it or do whatever? You can say, I'll primarily be here, maybe a little Canada, just kind of mix it up a little bit. Okay. So get international insurance.
Cover. Strong pick if you'll base the car abroad. Clements +1. International Auto Source, IAS, expat-focused placements for vehicle plus insurance when relocating to the U.S., useful if you're operating here on foreign credentials. Allianz Travel sells trip products, not a replacement for foreign motor liability, but their guidance is helpful when renting overseas. Always check the country's local liability rules.
Now, this is just a quick little excerpt. You can definitely type in, you want a full list, give me at least 10 or 20 worldwide international car insurance providers or insurers.
Rules. +1. Mexico. Important special case U.S. insurance isn't valid for liability in Mexico. You must buy a Mexico-admitted policy, e.g., MexPro, Baja Bound. Progressive and Mexico specialist sources say this explicitly. Mexico requires at least third-party liability on federal highways. Many travelers add collision/theft and bail/legal assistance.
All right. FYI, it is very easy to go to Mexico to get a license, especially in some of the smaller locations. I'm not saying you should do that, I'm just saying that's a possible option. As well as if you can get a driver's license from any other country. Usually they like you to be a citizen of, so just throwing it out there. So I asked it, I said, what can you find on private insurers that would work in this type of matter?
Surplus lines/non-admitted specialty policies placed by wholesale brokers or E&S, excess and surplus, producers, flexible underwriting for unusual risks, no USDL, suspended, foreign license, asset held privately. NAIC. Program/MGA placements, specialty MGAs and program administrators, who underwrite niche auto programs, high-risk, collector, non-standard drivers. Examples: Burns and Wilcox, RT Specialty, Lloyd's Market Capacity via MGAs. International/expat insurers, if you're foreign-based or crossing borders often, e.g., Clements Worldwide, specialized global insurers that write motor coverage for expats/diplomats. Clements +1. Commercial/entity, LLC, policies placed via specialty commercial auto markets when the car is held privately by an entity, can be tailored to list only licensed drivers. RT Specialty. Each of the why these work for no U.S. license/passport only/privately held cases. Surplus lines/E&S insurers are legally allowed to insure risks the admitted market rejects, high risk, non-standard exposures. They have underwriting freedom and will consider unusual driver/title circumstances. But surplus lines policies are non-admitted, no state guarantee fund. NAIC +1. MGAs/specialty programs have delegated authority to provide tailored forms and can create programs that accept foreign licenses, IDP plus passport, or owner-excluded driver language. They often work with Lloyd's Capacity or other large surplus carriers. Burns and Wilcox +1. International insurers, Clements, other expat insurers, explicitly write worldwide/foreign driver exposures and are used by diplomats, NGO staff, and expatriates where U.S. carriers won't bind. They are especially useful if the policy must be global or if you will drive in multiple countries. Clements +1. Representative carriers/brokers/markets to contact, national, specialty. Burns and Wilcox, wholesale specialty insurance, high value and hard to place auto programs. Burns and Wilcox. RT Specialty, Ryan Specialty, transportation/commercial auto specialty brokerage and program placements for hard to place risks. RT Specialty plus 1. Lloyd's Market, via U.S. brokers/cover holders, global capacity for non-standard auto and program placements, great for bespoke policies. Lloyd's. Clements Worldwide, international/expat auto policies, worldwide physical damage option. Good when the insured is foreign/resident abroad or needs cross-border protection. Clements plus 1. NFP/Marsh/Aon/Gallagher, large brokers, can place specialty/white glove programs or source surplus capacity and captive solutions. Marsh plus 1. Specialty local producers, Burns and Wilcox/RT/other E&S wholesale brokers who handle non-standard personal auto, collector, or single-unit commercial auto risks.
Okay. So I'm going to ask it a couple more questions. Can you think of any not mentioned here ways to cover a vehicle with insurance programs, maybe even some very obscure or little known or interagency programs, private bonds, or any other company, maybe say being added to a fleet program, keeping in mind only passport use, non-driver's license, or an agency that if an accident happens, they will pick it up and you can make payments in a contractual agreement. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so let's take a look at what it found. It says below I've listed additional less obvious and niche ways to get the vehicle protection for passport only, foreign license, non-driver owner, plus how each works, trade-offs, exactly what language you should use. Okay. Gonna have to give it a second. It's still propagating. All right, let's hit it. Let's rip it, rock it, and roll it.
One, peer-to-peer, P2P rental platforms, put the car on a hosted/rental program. What it is, companies like Turo and Getaround provide host protection programs that function like insurance while the vehicle is rented. They reimburse hosts for physical damage and provide third-party liability during trips. And some offer off-trip policies for when the car is not booked. This can be a practical route if you don't drive and will have others, renters, operate the car. Turo even offers tiered host protection plans and off-trip partnerships, TINT. Turo Plus One. Why this helps you: you can own the vehicle, be a host, and rely on the platform's protection during rentals, and, with off-trip cover, get business purpose coverage between bookings. Platforms accept foreign IDs for guests in many cases. Host protections are contractually robust and designed for non-standard owner situations. Trade-offs and caveats: platform protection is contractual, not always an insurance company in the traditional admitted sense, and has exclusions, deductibles, and eligibility rules, e.g., vehicle age/value limits, tracking device rules. Off-trip coverage often requires minimum fleet size. TINT requires 3+ vehicles for some plans. Read host terms carefully. Turo Help Plus One. Ask/script to Turo/Getaround. I own year/model/VIN and will not be a regular driver. I want to list it as a host on your platform. Please confirm. 1. Host protection plan options and limits for off-trip coverage. 2. Eligibility with foreign passport/foreign license as owner. And 3. Whether you offer an off-trip policy or recommended partner, TINT, so the vehicle is protected when not rented. 2. Put the vehicle into a rental/lease/subscription fleet, commercial fleet placement. What it is: rather than insuring a single private vehicle, place the car into a fleet owned/managed by a commercial operator, rental company, subscription operator, or managed fleet. Fleet policies are commercial and built to add/remove vehicles. The fleet operator handles driver vetting and claims. Large rental firms and specialty fleet insurers will insure cars with owner/driver oddities because the fleet operator screens drivers. Coast Plus One. How you accomplish it: lease/consign the vehicle to a fleet manager or local rental firm. They pay you or share revenue. You're effectively transferring operational control to a commercial operator who carries commercial fleet insurance. Trade-offs and caveats: you give up control/availability to the fleet operator. Contracts must be carefully drafted. Revenue split, liability, damage handling. Ensure the fleet operator's insurance covers your ownership interest and provides loss payee language for the title/finance situation. Ask/script to a local rental or fleet manager. Would you consider accepting one vehicle on consignment/lease for your fleet? Vehicle details. I require that your commercial fleet policy names me, or my entity, as loss payee/insured interest and that you assume driver vetting/claims handling. Please send your standard consignment/lease plus certificate of insurance. 3. Off-policy commercial arrangements, garage keeper/storage plus indemnity. What it is: if the vehicle is stored or entrusted to a third party, garage, storage facility, valet, long-term parking operator, those businesses often carry garage keeper or storage insurance that covers customer vehicles while in their care. By contract, the facility may accept responsibility for loss or damage, and they'll have an insurer to pay. Thimble Plus One. How it helps: if the vehicle is parked/kept most of the time, placing it in the care of a properly insured garage with a contractual indemnity may provide an acceptable risk transfer when you can't obtain ordinary auto liability. Trade-offs and caveats: coverage applies only while the vehicle is in the facility's care. It does not cover driving on public roads. The facility's insurer will defend subject to their policy terms. You should get a certificate of insurance and a written indemnity. Ask/script to a garage/storage operator. Do you carry garage keeper's insurance that covers customer vehicles while in your care? I need a written contract that 1. Documents coverage limits, 2. Names me as owner/insured interest for loss, and 3. Shows a COI. Please send your standard storage/garage contract and COI. 4. Peer-to-peer off-trip specialty insurers, tint and period X, niche host-oriented policies. What it is: new MGAs and program insurers, tint, period X, ABI period X platforms, build products for small P2P fleets and hosts, off-trip coverage, short-term commercial usage, and fleet/host tailored policies. These are built specifically for hosts who can't or won't buy a standard personal policy. Turo +1. Why it helps. These policies are designed for owners who want lower off-trip cost and protection that fits hosting, often flexible about driver documentation and business usage. How it helps: you can have vehicle protection and a contractual payback plan if the dealer or third-party indemnitor will advance funds for claim repairs. Trade-offs and caveats: these programs can be expensive and may include high administrative charges. Check state consumer protections and usury/finance rules. Confirm whether the dealer's program meets DMV/insurer requirements for registration. General background on payment plans for insurance premiums and financing exists in state consumer law, e.g., most states allow premium installment plans but insurers may charge fees. 6. Short-term/usage-based, telematics/pay-per-mile, policies that accept foreign licenses. What it is: usage-based insurers, Metro Mile and other pay-per-mile carriers or larger companies offering telematics programs, price by miles and driving behavior. Some are more flexible because they price on usage rather than licensing history. Metro Mile +1. Why it helps: if you will only occasionally need to drive, or will add a licensed driver for most driving, a usage-based plan can lower cost and in some cases be underwritten to accept foreign credentials if paired with a named licensed driver. Trade-offs: availability limited by state, still requires eligibility checks and device/tracking. 7. Captive, protected cell, or group captive, self-insurance solutions. What it is: a captive or protected cell allows a person/entity to join a group captive, or form a cell, to self-insure their risks or buy bespoke coverage. This is more common for businesses with many vehicles or niche exposures and can be structured to accept unusual driver documentation and bespoke underwriting. Captive +1. Why it helps: full customization and potential cost control, plus the ability to craft policy forms that fit private national owner situations. Trade-offs: usually expensive to start, requires regulatory filings, capital, and ongoing management. Best for groups or high net worth owners pooling risks. 8. Non-insurance contractual indemnity/third-party guarantor. What it is: a private indemnity agreement or contract where a third party, individual, company, trust, or entity agrees to indemnify you or the vehicle owner for losses, e.g., a family member, company, or sponsor signs to hold others harmless and pay claims. These are often used in limited commercial or rental contexts. Hub International +1. How it helps: if an insurer refuses, a credible indemnitor, with assets, can underwrite the risk privately. You can combine this with a surety bond or escrowed funds. Trade-offs and caveats: enforceability varies. Courts may limit indemnities, especially for punitive damages or criminal acts. Indemnitor must have real assets. Insurers may still require State Route 22 or other filings. 9. Private surety/indemnity bonds, beyond title bonds. What it is: bespoke surety/indemnity bonds can be written to guarantee payment of claims or to secure a vehicle's obligations, third-party guarantee. Certain private surety markets will write performance or indemnity bonds for contractual obligations, not the same as auto liability, but they can secure a claim fund. Surplus lines sureties and specialty surety brokers can help. Why it helps: if you can post a bond guaranteeing repair/third-party payments, a regulator or creditor may accept it as proof of financial responsibility. Trade-offs: bonds require premium and underwriting. They secure payment but do not provide defense/legal representation the way an insurer would. 10. Repair financing/claims financing arrangements. What it is: if you lack immediate funds after an accident, repair financing companies, point-of-sale lenders, or subrogation/collection arrangements let the shop repair the car and you repay over time. Examples include consumer financing portals and specialty lenders used by body shops. This solves immediate repair cost, not liability coverage. Thrifty.com +1. Why it helps: the vehicle gets repaired and back on the road, you make contractual payments. Trade-offs: interest/fees apply, you still need liability protection for others, this just covers the repair bill. 11. Add vehicle as named non-driving interest on another's commercial policy, employer, family business. What it is: if you have access to a business or employer that carries commercial auto coverage, the business can add the vehicle as an insured asset, loss payee/insured interest, while listing only authorized licensed drivers. This is a quiet, lawful way to get coverage when you can't personally qualify. WCINS.com. Why it helps is commercial policies are flexible and can accept non-standard owner arrangements. Trade-offs: requires cooperation by the employer/business and proper contractual documentation. Legal and practical cautions, important. State DMVs and insurers may require that the named insured or primary driver be licensed in the U.S. or have a documented acceptable foreign license. Always confirm state rules before relying on a program.
All right. So that is essentially it. Now, if anybody has anything that we covered or I missed here, that I didn't cover, I should say, feel free to definitely let me know. Send it over if you know any special programs or anything, unique that we, like I said, once again, we didn't cover or we missed, just missed it, or that you've used that is, has been vetted. Let me know. We will definitely take a look at it. And if it pans out, checks out, then yeah, we'll use it and help other people with it, make a video just for that. So that's about it, guys. That's it for the video and the videos. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Take care. Talk to you guys later. Wolf's out.